I wanted to start by saying thank you for the invitation. It's a real privilege to be here today. And I want to thank you, the Science for the People. This is, as John said, part of the bicentennial celebration. I want to also say thank you to Dave Renner and Alex Haddad for helping with the wonderful brochures that you are welcome to take home with you with information about the art exhibit, which is hanging here on your right. I would like also to thank you, Brooke. Where is she? The graduate student who helps me out with the gallery. And of course, the school, our new school. And above all, my dear husband who came Saturday and Sunday to hang the exhibit, and who is a professor in engineering, but also a wonderful carpenter who does all my frames. So thank you, although he's not here today. I wanted to say a couple, although John told me not to talk too much, I want to say a couple of words about the gallery. We started this gallery, it's a act of love. I am been curating and directing the gallery for 5 years. It's not part of my job, it's just for the love of art. I do believe in art. Who else believes in art here? Yeah, we believe in art, so that's why this gallery is here, is to bring to the school art that talks to the mission of the school. It's just not just art, right? It's art that actually has some meaning for what we are trying to do here in the school, which is small potatoes, we need to save the planet. And it's also a place for us to gather. So today, we have more people than usually. The openings and receptions are a little bit more private and quiet, but I'm really happy today that you are all here and enjoy the art. I think art can play many roles, can be used or can be a means of doing advocacy. It can be also healing. It heals. Maybe today we're feeling really hurt from what is happening. I mean, every morning I wake up and there's something else that it's going wrong in this world, but maybe art can help us in a way to feel human and to believe that things are going to get better. I also believe art can be a way of educating people. And I think my role as a scientist and educator gets amplified when I can bring the art as another way of educating people in places where they don't expect to be educated. So I believe in art. You can tell that. And I think the art transformed the artist. Many of the artists that we have invited here to the gallery also feel that their work has taken a different meaning. Art can be to educate people and also to touch people. Because as educators, we're giving information. As artists, we're giving feelings. And we can reach to people in a different way than educating with words, and we can give the student everywhere in the street something to think about that will move them to a place where they can be stewards of the environment. That's my goal, at least as an artist, right? Is to communicate at a different level, communicate to the senses rather than to the brain, because we need all of those aspects to be a better place, to make the planet a better place. I wanted to talk a little bit, this is what I ask for the artists when I invite them here to exhibit. I ask them to talk a little bit about their process. Usually people are curious about what is an artist and how an artist goes about doing the art they do. So I wanted to, so what I have brought here, it's the five windows are with art that actually relates to climate change. I'm not sitting in my studio and thinking I'm going to make a painting about climate change. I am a person in this world who is exposed to everyday news and who is concerned about the planet. When I go to sleep, I have dreams. You all have dreams. You can't control your dreams, right? And sometimes in your dreams, you make things better. Sometimes you're afraid. There's no way you can control your dreams. My process is the same. When I am in front of my canvas, I'm dreaming. And I'm letting everything that is in my soul to go through. And of course, there are days where I have heard about what's going on in this part of the planet or another, and they show up in these, in my work. It's not always about climate change. It could be about love for my children. It could be about anything, right? It depends what's going on through my heart and my mind, and I just let them come through my work. In terms of the medium, I am a scientist. I never had a formal training in the arts, and I started doing my art the same way I do my science, is experiment. I try one thing, it works. They're little experiments, and I learn as I go, and it grows in a different direction every time. So it's not static. I'm not reproducing. It's not, this is a pear today, it's a pear tomorrow, right? It's a process that reflects the way I work as a scientist, which is, I think, enjoyable and unique. Now, the work in display, if you look at the first window, the title of that painting relates to the condor. So I was born in Chile. I grew up in Chile. I am Chile. And when I went a couple of years ago, I was lucky enough to take a group of students from here, actually, to Chilean Patagonia, about 18 students from here every time, and we went to the south of Chile and Patagonia. If you want to see climate change, you don't need to see books or numbers. You just need to stand in front of the Andes, and you will see climate change right in front of you. The snow cap, right, is not there anymore, and the forest is growing up. The trees are in places where they were not. And I'm thinking, so that painting reflects my feelings about what I saw, is thinking about nature. The condor is the national bird from Chile. It's also being affected. It's part of nature, we're part of nature. The rivers are being destroyed by the snow melt because of climate change, and sediments are rushing down. That all is it's in that painting. The second painting, it's also about Chile, and it's about climate change bringing terrible fires in the country. I was there last year, and it was infernal. The natural forest is being replaced by pine and eucalyptus, and climate change, it's causing droughts, and we're having these terrible fires, and everything gets burned. The animals, the trees, the land, the soil, people, they're losing everything. It also affects the poor people that are living right next to these forests. So that reflects my feelings about climate change in Chile and the fires. The third window, the title of that painting is Aguas Desbordadas, which is water without control. And it talks about, again, climate change, but this time in coastal areas where the water levels are increasing and the cities are being inundated. So it reflects meltdown, rain, and water levels, and society being drowned. The fourth one, it's a real sad feeling that I had that I couldn't describe in other words But the painting is called Born in Spring with Broken Wings. I mean, thinking about the future, right? Thinking about our kids, our grandkids. They're born with broken wings when we don't have the same nature that has supported us. What are they going to be confronting? And then you have kind of the eye of the storm right there, sucking us. And it's like what's going on now, right, with the hurricanes. It's exactly that. And the last 6 paintings are small paintings that also relate to flood, to drought, and the effect of climate change in rivers, and mostly in rivers. I have to say that since I moved to Ann Arbor, and I have been working on stream ecology, I have fell in love with stream ecosystems, and they're the most fragile ones, right? They dry, they're really getting in terrible shapes, and that is what those 6 pieces talk about. All right, I'm about done, John. I just wanted to say that I am really hopeful that now we have a new school. And this new school will incorporate, supposedly, will incorporate arts and the humanities, which makes me hopeful because I really do believe that in order for us to confront all the complex problems that we have because of environmental disasters and deterioration, will not come from the science alone. We have had science, good science. It's not the science that is failing us. It's people. It's the soul of the people that are looking for things that are not the real things that make us human. They're not looking for love. They're not looking for supporting each other. They're looking for getting resources for themselves. And we are losing our soul. And I think this school will only be able to save the planet if we save each one of us as a human being that actually wants to be part of the solution. More papers, I don't think it's going to do it. I think the arts really plays an important role in all of this, in making us, reminding us that we are human and we depend on nature. And I have to say also, lastly, that I do believe in art and I do believe in the students that come to this place because we have the best students in the world. Thank you.